Greetings, guys and gals. Join me here at Success Over Stress, where the goal is to strengthen strategies that will defeat doubt, cure complacency, and strangle stress. I'm on the road to a healthier, happier, and stress-controlled life by taking control of my financial situation. With the right direction, so can you. Hello everybody, I'm back. It's been a while. You know, I've been busy. We talk about success over stress. So what have I been doing that's been more successful than stressful? Not a lot. Nah, I've been doing a lot. And got a lot to talk about, but I won't bore you. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about success over stress. We talk about random subjects, any and everything. Y'all know I probably, I do. I lean real estate, right? So in terms of fostering and finding success, I hinge my portfolio for investment, finances, wealth creation is real estate. But I do know that stocks carry a lot of clout. And if you haven't been under a rock, then you've heard about everything going on with GameStop here in the last couple of weeks. Well, I will say that I've been interested in stocks for a bit longer than since the GameStop, the short squeeze and everything went on. But I have taken an interest in stocks more so since then. Not only because of that, but also because of one of my good friends. He was on the show before, Jermaine Royal. He was kind of got me investigating stocks and forex and options, futures, all that kind of stuff. So I know a bunch of you guys are going to say, "Oh, what, Eric? Stocks? Don't do it." And you're especially going to say that when I tell you about what I'm working on. I have been flooding my brain here in the last couple of weeks with information on day trading. I know. If I had sound effects, it'd be something like a doom and gloom sound. But day trading, right? And I guess I've read almost 3 or 4 books now on day trading. So I will tell you, I don't go into anything half, right? So read the books, get some knowledge, talk to some people, look at some videos. If you're going to invest your time and energy into something and you think it's worthwhile, then invest time and energy into something that you think is worthwhile. If you find out through the course of the process that it's not worthwhile, it's okay to go a different direction. There's no shame in finding out that your interests lie elsewhere. There's no shame, or your strengths, or your weaknesses, whatever. No shame in that. But anyway, so I've been learning a lot about stocks, and from institutional to retail investors, the whole GameStop short squeeze, which is when you're buying. When you're selling stocks that you quote unquote borrow from your broker in the hopes that the stock price will go down. And when the price goes down, you buy the stocks back at a low price and then you give those back to the broker essentially, and you pocket that difference. What I'm looking at is day trading, which you can do on the short side, but I'm looking to do on the long side just because I have a cash account. And it's my understanding that to buy properties on the short side or sell properties on the short side, to use the broker to allow you to do that, you need to have a margin account. And I don't want to have a margin account. Day trading seems to work out pretty good with the cash account because you're not subject to the same pattern day trader rule, PDT, which means that I believe the number is right, but you can't do a round trip purchase and sale of a stock more than 3 times in a 5-day period, right? They will consider you a pattern day trader. They'll flag your account and then they'll block your account, and you have to put $25,000 into your account in order to make another trade, or they'll put your account on freeze for 90 days, something like that. I don't want to get into all that, so I'm just looking at the cash account. But let me tell you, there's plenty of people who got the GameStop stock on the short side, rode it high, right? Did I see correctly? I don't want to say, but I know that the stock went up very high, a couple 100% above what the stock actually was trending at, and so a lot of people made money on that. But then, too, plenty of people lost money. So if you get into stocks, just like I tell you about real estate, I am not a financial advisor, but consult one, because you can certainly lose your money in it. And I've been working with the process of day trading, and it's an arduous process, but so is everything else worthwhile in life, right? And that's what some of the literature that I read, they like to make the analogy to physicians and to lawyers, right? Physicians and lawyers make so much money, but they didn't fall into it, right? They didn't wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm gonna be a doctor, I'm going to treat patients, and I'm going to make a lot of money, and I'm going to start that today. No, they had to train, they had to practice, they had to be mentored, they had to fight uphill battles. I mean, right? So anything worthwhile is worth the trial. So same here. You know, I'm working through it, but a brother then lost some money too. Not a lot, right? So I think in the last two weeks, just to be completely transparent, I think in the last 2 weeks I've probably lost $60. But I'm very conservative. I don't like losing money. So I don't want to say I'm quickly getting the hang of it, but man, every time you pick up the book, every time you stare at those trending lines, those charts, there's always something else to learn. So I hope this has been a little bit inspirational for you on the side of stocks and having equity in that. But like I said, I'm not completely sold on it. I do see the potential for it, but I'm not completely sold on it. So just bear with me while I make it through the learning, the trials and tribulations of that. Okay, on to the next topic, the properties, right? So the rental properties, that's my bread and butter. That's where, like I say, that's where my stability lies for my retirement here. All right, imagine this: you're at work, or you're wherever, you know. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're doing, but you get a call from one of your tenants and you can't answer it. It's okay. You know, it's not an emergency, right? Yeah, they'll leave a message. Okay, so you go back to what you were doing. You'll call them back as soon as you get free. You get another call. I can't answer it, but they know to leave a message, so no big deal. Okay. All right. Get done what I'm doing. Check the text message. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. It's the transcription of the voicemail to a text. Couldn't make heads or tails of it. Anyway, I called the tenant. Tenant's like, "Oh, my kids were playing in the closet and they started a fire." What? Fire? The firefighters came out. You know, they addressed the situation. It didn't get out of hand, but yeah. I went by and took a look at it, you know. Oh, that's about all I want to say about that. But and guys, gals, please have insurance on your properties. Now I do, right? I've talked to some buddies in the past who who don't have insurance or who are slow to get it. But get that insurance, because there's nothing that's going to cover you in the case that whole thing goes up in flames. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think that the tenant, their renter's insurance is going to cover that. I don't think so. Maybe it is. Maybe it does. That's something for me to look up. Let me make a note. All right. And this is one of the properties I got last year. So the tenant actually doesn't have a security deposit, and he never put a security deposit down on the house when he started renting it. The previous landlord let him come in, do some, do the tenant turnover part, the painting and all that kind of thing, the cleanup. And so that was his sweat equity for his security deposit. So I don't have a security deposit with him. And good guy, always pays his rent. So I'm going to have to, and I told him that we have to talk about that, whether or not we need to do something for a deposit, because even though he's been there for years, even before I got the properties, and he's paid his rent on time and everything, these kind of things happen. And you're like, whoa, okay, well, who's going to cover this? So anyway, moving on. Had another tenant called me. They started renting the property around September or so of last year. They called me and said, you know what? My brother and I, we've been staying together, and I just don't know about him. We just not seeing eye to eye. So I know that I'm the primary tenant on the lease, and he's just an occupant, but let's put him as primary on the lease, and I'm gonna go on about my business. I'm gonna move elsewhere. I said, yeah, buddy, you can do that, but I can't just put him as primary on the lease. Number one, it wouldn't be your lease. I would make a new lease, and then number two, I don't know that he can. That he's qualified to be as primary on here. He's been staying here, and that's your brother, and y'all have been paying rent. They pay rent also on time, every time. I said, but I don't know that he's capable of doing that on his own. So I need to run another application on him, run it as him by himself to see if he can, if he meets my qualifications, which he doesn't. So I said, okay, brother, you can get your good brother, you can get the good brother to be a co-signer on your lease, and you can still stay here. That's fine. Or you can get your mother to be co-signer. That's fine. Well, the brother didn't want to be co-signer, and the mother didn't want to be co-signer. Come on, guys, red flag. Come on, you didn't see it already? Red flag. All right, if you got people in your life, if you got good people in your life that won't vouch for you, then check your priorities, right? And so I knew off gate, if they weren't gonna vouch for him, then I was making the right decision by not allowing him to be primary on the lease on his own without a cosigner. Okay, boom. So he needed to move out. All right, finally got that situated. He wasn't responding to my calls and everything for a while. It's like he will and then he won't. He will and then he won't. So communication there is not that great either. Once again, that was an issue. That was a headache missed. All right, so moving up the road a little bit to another property. Now I just got a call from this couple in the last couple days. The young lady sent me a message on Friday morning, said, Mr. Eric, give me a call when you get a chance. Called her right away. It was like 7:30, something like that. That's the kind of guy I am. I mean, called her right away. All right, she said, man, my boyfriend, he wasn't really even my boyfriend. Like we just kind of connected so we could get him as co-signer on the lease, so we could get me in and I've been homeless, but so he could get me in. But now he's acting, this, that, and the third, and I want him out of here. She said, what do we need to do to get somebody off the lease? I said, y'all are co-applicants. Y'all on the lease together. So, not really sure how this is going to go down. You need to get, well, she was talking about like might be bad enough to where she needs to get a restraining order or something like that. I said, okay. And, I really kind of had a conversation with her. And then I talked with the gentleman this morning, and I said, man, as people, y'all can come together. Y'all can have a resolution. It doesn't have to be amicable, but it does need to be civil. Y'all can do that. Y'all can have a conversation. I said, once y'all figure out if y'all can or can't be together or live together, y'all let me know. I can make a new lease with only the one of you if you qualify. Okay. But to start with, if there's some situation going on to where it can't be resolved amongst the two of them, then she needs to get a restraining order if she feels like that's the proper legal course of action. And I talked with him, and he said, well, I ain't doing anything. I shouldn't have to worry about that. I said, yeah, but you do, because either you're gonna have to fight it, or it's gonna be on your record, or either way, it's not a good look. So we need to come to some resolution. Anyway, I won't bore y'all with that. But what I will say is I also got an opportunity to rent one of my properties to my younger brother. And he's in a position in his life where he's ready to move forward and his independence, and I'm happy for him, and I'm excited that I'm able to offer him one of my properties. Now, it isn't the Taj Mahal or anything like that, but it's a good starting point for him, and we all need a starting point. We all need a chance and or a second chance. So, gosh, man, that's what I want to be able to do ultimately with everything, with life, love, happiness, right? You got to be able to give back. You got to give back in the ways that you can. And so I think that's about it for this time. Maybe next time I will do a kind of an instructional, or just what I've learned about stocks in the last couple weeks, and hopefully you can take something from it. But if you can't, hey, you know what your path is. I may not be on your path, and we may not be riding side by side, but either way, we both gonna get there. We all gonna get there. This is Eric with Success Over Stress. I'm out. Peace.